Good evening, friends, followers and channel members. Welcome back to our Sunday night live Iconic Journeys flight, where we rip up the rulebook and just enjoy Microsoft Flight Simulator for exactly what it is. Fantastic scenery and a chance to explore the world. This is episode 15. It's been a while, hasn't it, guys, since we were last here on a Sunday night. So this is the 15th episode of this series. If you are new to this series, then all of the previous flights are on the channel, so you can go back and watch. But of course, if you are not new to this series, apologies for the long delay. We're now back, at least for this week. Sadly, next week I will once again be unavailable, but we are back now. And as expected, also back are the bots. Hello, Naked HD. Oh god, no. No. Let's get rid of that, shall we? Goodbye, spammers. I can't think of a worse username for that. Let's hide that. Hopefully that didn't make it through to the chat, but if it did, who cares? Right, well, I thought we were going to have some bad weather when we loaded in here. It said thunderstorms, but looking at what I can see around, it doesn't look too bad. So thankfully, I think we're going to get away with this. We're going to remain on live weather, as we always do for these flights. It just makes it more realistic. Unless, of course, we have terrible visibility. But thankfully, all looks to be rather well. Giving you a moment to join us if you wish. We are departing from 8 Foxtrot Lima 0, which is Hudson Airfield, I believe. Let's bring the map up and have a look. We're on the North Europe server, and it's all players, of course. Right. There is no map other than Google Maps, and that is how we're going to make this flight. So we are parked just here, which is essentially a nice grass strip. We're going to depart. We'll spin around left over this little lake, and then we'll follow Route 206, and Route 206 takes us back to the intersection with the I-95. From there we continue, we head down, we're going to track the I-95 for the next hour or so, and we'll see where we end up. Good evening to everyone who's already in the chat. So, good evening to Arthur, J-Hog, Anthony, Captain Barry Fox. You've just upgraded to Captain, thank you so much. If you can't see the VIP lounge, just make sure that you've got your Discord server linked. Sometimes it can take up to 24 hours. If it does, Barry, give us a message on Discord and I'll try and kick the bot for you. Mark Spitfire, good evening to you. Barry Golding as well, good evening. 747 Dan, you've been waiting for these streams to come back. Yeah, it's just one. As I say, next week we're sadly, I'm also sadly indisposed, but then I just need to get back into April, and then things should hopefully start to settle down. I also think the Nightbot this evening is behaving himself. Virtual Pilot, I'm indeed in multiplayer North Europe server. Apologies to anyone who I have missed. But and for those asking which airport we're at, have a look at the top of the screen. Right, let's get loaded in, shall we? Wow, so many of us already waiting to take off. That's beautiful. If you're wondering where my aircraft is, I tried to load a new one in thanks to Dark Fury. I don't know if I've loaded that in wrong. In fact, let me just check the community folder. Oh, I know what I've done. My apologies, Dark. Okay, I have loaded the EasyJet Sim Pilot Diamond 20 in, but I loaded the parent folder instead of the sub folder. I will fix that for next time. My apologies. Oh, look at that. The sun's just come out. So if anyone on the field wants to start taking off runway, I'm just going to say flying northbound. So yeah, heading straight off, and we'll get going. Engines are starting, and we shall be airborne momentarily. Wonder where we'll end up today. We're now in Florida, aren't we? Double checking, we are in Florida. So I'm going to enjoy seeing where this takes us. I'm pretty much lined up, so let's get some flaps out. We'll release those parking brakes, and let's enjoy another wonderful iconic Journeys flight where we sit, chill, relax, learn, enjoy the scenery, and if you're called Nick, you usually tend to have a drink as well. Let's just get rid of the text on the screen as our flight is boarded, considering there's only me here, and let's go. So I am literally going to zip my way through this collection of aircraft here. Lots of GA aircraft, that's exactly what we want. Low and slow for our flight today. Right, let's rotate and miss the trees at the end of this grass strip. Dark Fury, you've got beers. Do you know what? I misread that for a moment. I thought it said you've got bears. Like, really? Where are they? Have you got the fauna turned on? This is our first iconic Journeys flight as well since Sim Update 8. So it'll be interesting as well to see how scenery and frame rates behave. There's the lake that I said we were going to obviously make a left turn over. And now we're going to fly back to where we departed from, pick up route 206, and we're flying eastbound. We're going to fly at around 1,800 feet. And there it is, there's 206. And the weather indeed does look like it's going to behave itself. Quick wave to everyone departing. Look at that. I do love the departure and the arrival with everybody, as I think it looks fantastic. It was almost wartime. Dark, you've just come in and seen what I did to deliver it. Yeah, basically, I didn't realise there was a subfolder in the parent folder, and I just imported the parent folder, so it failed to show in the sim. Never mind, I will sort it, mate. I will sort it. Thanks for fixing the pink texture for me. LA Kids 143, good afternoon to you. So we are essentially following the 206 until it meets the intersection with the I-95, then we'll head south to follow that. Shouldn't be too long. In fact, I think I can pretty much see the intersection over here. And if we actually look out far enough, there's the Atlantic in the distance. 747 Dan, you remember it was quite tricky to find that grass strip where we've just landed coming in last time. Yeah, it was, did take a little while. Was the weather rubbish last time? I honestly can't remember. Or was it the time before that where we headed out to, I've forgotten where it was, but it was sort of like a little island off the mainland, wasn't it? That was good fun. We'll get a little bit higher, and say just under 2,000 feet is usually a good altitude for us to enjoy, although as you can see at the moment there's just trees. Lots and lots and lots of trees. Lucas Zhao on Twitch, thanks for following. Didn't used to play football for Sheffield Wednesday by any chance, did you, Lucas? Nick, you didn't get the ping on YouTube and you didn't take off. Are you still sat on the ground? Did you not see us, Nick? Catch us up, Nick. I mean, if anyone can catch us up and get in front of us, it's you, mate. 747 Dan says it was low visibility as well last time. Mark also saying yes, it was awful. Ah, I see. Carter, did we turn the weather off last time? We only do that when the weather really is poor, so it must have been bad. Here we go. There is the intersection that I was looking for. Nothing much here, by the way, except a Southern Tyre Mart, the Pilot Flying Travel Centre, and 206 truck sales. There's a truck sales shop as well down there, apparently. Just lose a little bit of altitude. We've just got over 2,000 feet, but that's okay. There's the truck shop, by the way. Truck sales. Right, let's hanker right. Frank, you're unable to join the server. That's really annoying. I've actually no idea why that would be, to be honest with you. Unless you've got your multiplayer turned off in the options. Tell you what, so far I'm impressed with the textures. Loving the lines showing just here. As I said, this is the first update since, sorry, the first I-95 flight since we've had Sim Update 8. So, and Florida, I would imagine, has got quite a lot of photogrammetry and decent satellite imagery data. So, we will see. 747 Dan, did I turn it off for a while and then we turned it back on just at the last few miles just to try and find that airfield? Right, yeah, that sounds like a realistic thing to do, to be fair. So this is the I-95, just a rest area there, northbound rest area that we can see. We're about to come up with a junction with, I want to say Route 1. There's the Sunoco Food Mart coming up in a little while. Triggerman, you remember when you were looking in Discord for an announcement while you were waiting, everyone took off without a Discord announcement? That's rare not to have a Discord announcement. I'm normally quite on the ball with those things. Philip, you live in the Crash Bandicoot style playlist. Well, if you can't have fun on a Sunday night, when can you have fun? Back to work tomorrow. For most people. As we cross over the next intersection then, we've got Faverdike State Park to the north of us, and we're going to be going through a place called the Pelican Creek Corridor Conservation Area. After that, we start to enter a built-up area, the Palm Coast. So it's not going to be as green as this for long. It's going to start getting built up. Tiberio Papa, this is the Diamond DV20. Jonathan, does US1 run all the length of the East Coast as well? I didn't know that. Tell you what, graphics and images are looking sharp, aren't they? Look at this. I knew when we came into Florida we were going to have some decent satellite imagery. And I don't think we're going to be disappointed. This is great stuff. We've also got the traffic mod from Latin VFR in there as well, so the traffic that you are seeing is not default traffic. This is Latin VFR traffic, so don't be surprised if you see things like UPS, Amazon Prime vehicles, DHL, etc. down there. The big blue trucks are the Amazon Prime ones, of course. Mark, thank you for sharing on Facebook. So are we in the part of the USA now where we're not going to see churches every 200 yards? Oh, this is beautiful scenery for us today, isn't it? Couldn't have asked for better weather. Remember, live weather and live time. Maranzas High School is coming up on the left. We'll see that shortly. As I say, we're coming now into a more built-up area, Palm Springs. Just keep an eye on that altitude. Don't want to get too low so we can take in a nice general view of the area as we're flying. There's the high school. I can just see over there to my left. And yeah, clear as day, this satellite imagery, isn't it? Really nice, really neat. A lot of the water's also got a few waves on it, so it's not just still, is it? What on earth is that? Don't know what that is. But there is the high school we spoke of. Where are those cars going? Bit of off-roading. HGV off-roading, why not? And there it is. We can see the Atlantic and the coastline just over there to our left. So we're now coming up just down here with a intersection. We've got loads of things coming up now. Obviously, as you can see, highly built up residential area. Texas Roadhouse, Outback Steakhouse, Metro Diner, all those places coming up in a moment. I expect soon we're just going to start coming across loads of golf clubs and golf courses. One of the challenges of doing these flights as well is, of course, making sure you don't lose your position on the map when flying, whilst checking out where you're flying, reading the chat. Here it is. There's the intersection with the Palm Coast Parkway. And lots of detailed scenery down there as well. You know, it's good when you can see the car parking spaces. Jayhog, can you land for a round? What were you doing early today, Jayhog? I saw something. I saw something on our Discord server. Basically, my aunt cocked up your landing, and you ended up spiraling out of control. What on earth happened there? What's that? That looks quite neat. Doesn't actually tell me on Google Maps. I think it's just some sort of park place. Old Novice Pilot, and it has CSI Miami. Yeah, well, there's the iconic shot, isn't there, in CSI Miami of the coastline with all the buildings. Not this coastline, of course. It's a little bit further south than here. So we've got a way station coming up. I feel like I've just lost 5 degrees of temperature. That sun's just gone behind the clouds. We also have live weather turned on as well. Not live weather, sorry. We've got live commercial air traffic turned on as well, and there is an airport just coming up, and that is what's the name of that airport there? That's the Flagler Executive Airport that you can just see to the top right of your screen, just here. And as Arthur's just pointed out, the ICO code for that, anyone that wishes to join us, is Kilo Fox India November. Get yourself spawned in there and you'll pick us up. Wondering how low these clouds are going to get. We can just see the cloud base. Seems to have dropped a little bit. Either that or we've climbed. Oh no, we've not. In fact, we've potentially descended somewhat, to be honest. That cloud base just coming in. We can drop our altitude if it's going to get in the way. Captain Nathan, thank you for subscribing. Tally Johnson, hello. And Jet2 Fan, welcome. Images and scenery is looking really sharp, isn't it? Initially I said that this entire flight would probably take us around. Said it would probably take us a good 5 to 6 months to do, and I reckon we're probably going to be on track with that, given delays in there as well. Remembering we started 50 episodes ago right up at the Canadian border. Talia, you've just done an 8-hour long haul. Where was that to from? Danny, you didn't get a YouTube ping when we went live. Oh no, good evening to you. Looks like I'm trying to work out if it's some old quarry that's down here. Oh, there's a flood on the I-95 though. Just be careful, cars. You may want to slow down for that and pop it into a high gear. Visual Pilot game username is EasyJet Sim. So if you've got your name tags on, you should be able to see us. The road crossing us now is the Marco Polo Boulevard. And if you take a right here, it'll lead you all the way to a place called Corona. There's also St. Joseph's Monastery as well, just over here somewhere, further down there. Weather is really nice. I'm having to use minimal inputs on my controls just to keep us following the I-95. I'm just sat back enjoying the beautiful scenery. Tell you did Bordeaux to Seattle in the Heavy Division 787 mod. Autopilot and auto throttle decided to pooch it towards the end. Oh dear. Oh, there's nothing worse than screensaver coming on. Sana, thank you for subscribing, and Chowdhury as well. Thank you too for subscribing on YouTube. Here we go. Now we're in Florida. Golf courses. Is it Plantation Bay, I think? The good thing about coming into Florida, of course, is we are not going to be short of places to land once we have once we're looking for an airstrip. So this meets up now with the US Highway number 1 again. We can see the intersection just coming up. Lots of different things down there. We've got more hotels, Days Inn, Waffle House, McDonald's. We've got a McDonald's. Colt Pig Stand. Okay, guys, someone with some more US local knowledge than myself. What on earth is Colt Pig Stand? I mean, it's a restaurant, but I've got to be honest with you, the name doesn't make me want to go. Nick, no, not a new livery, default livery, because the new livery I installed incorrectly, so my apologies to Dark Fury for that. So we are just hugging that cloud ceiling, just staying beneath it so we can enjoy our flight. There's something on Google Maps that isn't here in Bing. There's a building just here. It looks like a sort of mini mall just there. It seems to be missing. So the Google Maps is old and that building's been demolished, or the opposite, it's been updated. So we've got Ormond Beach Municipal Airport just over there to our left that we can see. And that appears to be surrounded by the sports complex, the Ormond Beach Sports Complex. So obviously you can see lots of baseball pitchers just there. Sana, looks like the trees are so dense. Any mods for that? So I am using the Rex AccuSeasons mod, which is quite neat, very neat actually. Louis Aviation, good evening to you, mate. How you doing? So we're now entering an area called Broadwater, and we've got the what on earth is that called? The Tomoka River, I think it is, that you can just see going from left to right. And we're starting, as you can see there, really built up dense area. Yeah, we've got Broadwater just this side of the river, and then to the south we're coming up on a place called Lost Creek. There's the Cavalry Christian Centre just beneath us. It looks religious in its architecture as well, doesn't it? Where's that sun gone? Come on, it's Florida, the Sunshine State. Hello from India. Thanks for stopping by. We've also just passed a Walmart Supercenter. That's another one of our bingo calls, isn't it? Now, another airport coming up, as well as the Daytona International Speedway. This is Daytona Beach International Airport coming up. And you can see that just here. I wonder if there'll be any live traffic out of Daytona Beach. Nick, anyone else using AccuSeasons? All your trees are brown, but mine are green. Wondering if you have a problem. Well, funnily enough, I wondered why my tree is green. It's still, it's not even spring yet, is it? So I thought they should have been brown. I thought I got a little problem, but then I thought, are they green now in Florida? It's obviously much further south, so starting to get warm. Dr. Magic, wish you were flying with us as well, sir. Hope you're well. Let's just drop beneath that cloud layer. It's starting to mist up a bit. So, should we just break off ahead? We'll do a flyover of Daytona International Airport, and we've also got the Daytona International Speedway. So we may as well have a little flyover. That's what these flights are all about. Nip it off to explore. Mark says there was an update. Florida don't have brown trees. Oh good, I did the update, so I guess that would make sense. Oh yeah, look at the Speedway Center. Oh, this is awesome. Now, if only there were cars racing around the track. Looks like it's in the middle of construction down here, though. Is it built? They've also got a lake right in the middle of the speedway track to put out those pesky car fires. So we're not going to land at Daytona International Airport, of course. We're just having a quick flyby. Can't see any live traffic down there. John, this is much more relaxing than a flight from Gatwick. Oh, I love both. I love both. I don't have to do any prep for these sorts of flights. I literally just load up and fly. But of course, the real ops flights, there's probably a good 30-45 minutes prep goes into each one of those streams before we start. Right, let's spin it back around and pick up the I-95 again. I love the fact this airport, and a lot of airports, particularly in the US, have got sort of like little dinky runways at the side of the main runways, just for aircraft like me. I suppose what you could do is get yourself on flightsim.to, download a car mod, and just race around the track. Okay, so back to the I-95. just looking at those vehicles down there, it appears they've missed the road. Sagar Daz, hello to you. Right, here we go, back on the I-95. Let's see what's up next for us. More Walmart supercenters. You would imagine there's going to be quite a few as we enter the heartland of Florida. Oh, Naked HD's back. Very nice. So we've got the Crane Lakes Golf and Country Club coming up as well, just ahead of us. Anthony, why would anyone watch a strip with clothes though? Fair comment. And as I zoom out on my Google Maps now, I can see so many golf courses. If you were playing drink bingo today, I think golf courses would be a fair shout. And Brian Dyer poses his rebuttal here. If you were without clothes, how could you strip? Again, a very good point. Danny, you were wondering what HD's been doing when he has some free time. Well, you know, pilots have had it hard, haven't they, over the last couple of years. Got to maintain their income somehow, I guess. Now, a Texas Roadhouse. That sounds like my kind of place to eat. Sana, have I had any problems with the Google Maps replacement? No, none at all, because I haven't got it installed. And would not. The Golden Curl Buffet and Grill, by the way, for anyone wondering, that is what that big red building is down there. So that's picked out quite nicely, isn't it? Really does stick out, those bright red buildings from the air. But how many people do they think they get walking in from 3,000 feet? So the river that we have just passed that you can see beneath us, that is Spruce Creek, for anybody that is familiar with this part of the world and knows where that is. There's also another airport just over to our left, near the New Smyrna Beach Sports Complex. I'm not sure if we actually see that on stream. Oh yeah, there it is. So which airport is that? That is, oh, New Smyrna Beach Municipal Airport. Lots of US airports using the phrase municipal airport. I don't know what municipal means. Sana, you thought I was running the map mod. No, not running the map mod at all. I've just got Google Maps open on my second screen, and we're using that to follow the I-95. That's all we're doing. Because default Microsoft Simulator scenery is just so good. Look at the army of aircraft behind us. Lots of green and red navigation lights. So the I-95 is actually keeping itself away from the coast at the moment, isn't it? Obviously all the way over there, we can just see it. Right, down here we've got another McDonald's and we've got a Walmart Supercenter. Which, to be honest, that seems to be... There's all those residential areas over there, but no, they built it just here. However, looking at the car park, it seems like they still have good business. Virtual Pilot, may you ask what the building settings are at? I think they're at high. Might even be medium. Certainly not ultra. Jonathan, a municipal airport is an airport owned by a city or municipality. Okay. Guess that would make sense. So owned by the city rather than a private firm. So Florida Shores residential area will be coming up on the left. It's just here actually. I can just see it already. Cliff, if you want to see a detailed breakdown of what my graphics settings are, then check out the channel for video on graphics, my graphics settings, or just search YouTube for EasyJet SimPilot graphics, and it'll come up with my latest graphics settings. Arthur says the NASA shuttle runway is coming up soon. Is it? That will be good to see, won't it? Danny, you just turned your trees, grass and water settings onto Ultra. Looks better and isn't too hard on the FPS yet. It won't be. It's not until you sort of get to, well, much lower to the ground and handcrafted airports that they really start to take their toll. Dan747, little orange bar at the top is just as the crow flies, point-to-point distance from where we are to, oh, it's Miami International, isn't it, that it's set to. And now once again we are flanked by trees, lots and lots and lots of trees. Pete, are we near John Travolta's airfield? I've no idea. Where's that? In Florida, I'm guessing. Cliff, can I do an updated Sim 8 graphics settings update? I've not changed them since the last one. Every time I update them, Cliff, I will do a video, but at the moment they are exactly the same as they were previous to Sim update number 8. So no need for a new one. But when you think of the hardware that I'm running, it's only a GTX 1660, 32 gig of RAM. And the fact, of course, that I'm streaming as well, all on one single PC. I can't really complain, can we? Really can't. So the I-95 at the moment has very little around it as we edge ever closer to Miami. all we've got at the moment. Down here we sort of had Florida fisheries and agriculture, a club shooting range as well down there. Very, very little, to be honest with you. Hope you've all had a great weekend as well, guys. Anyone done anything exciting other than play on Microsoft Flight Simulator? If you were to be driving this sort of stretch, it must be incredibly boring and so easy to fall asleep on. There's nothing to see but tree after tree after tree. We've obviously just passed a rather built-up area, but this is there's nothing else. There is just trees, no rest areas. Nick, you've flown into Connecticut today, have you? How did it go? Was it all good? So Scotsmore is the next area, I think. Scotsmore little farms. I think we've got a little intersection coming up, and when I say a little intersection, I really do mean a little intersection. There's an RV park and a BP garage. Sun's coming back out. Jonathan says books on tape help for those long drives. Yeah, I can see that to be true. Mark, the last time you were in Florida, you spoke to a family who every year drove down from Orlando from Chicago. Wow! That must be like a 4 or 5 day drive, isn't it? Here we go. An RV park and a petrol station. And we've still got 85 viewers watching this. Thank you for the company, guys. Well, there's the RV park, just here. There's the BP garage. Now we've got also Cape Canaveral National Cemetery over here to our left. I wonder. Oh, there it is. There's the cemetery. Sadly, satellite imagery here doesn't look to be that good. I was going to go and have a visit, but it doesn't look too great, to be fair. That sun poking back out again through the clouds. Keep having a look. Obviously, looking down all the time, we don't get to see what the weather's doing, but no, it looks okay. feeling at the minute I'm also getting a few updrafts, so weather and winds may have changed slightly. We've got a southwest area just down there. Actually, that imagery doesn't look too bad, does it? Again, I can see plenty of white lines painted. We've got the Indian River Preserve Golf Club then, just here. And then we've got places like Pinewood Hills, Pine Grove Estate, Tropical Villas. They sound expensive, but that's all just here. Maybe that's a place where people just go, retire and spend every day playing golf. There are worse ways to spend retirement. There's a water treatment plant there though. That's quite clearly obvious, isn't it? You can see the Indian River as well, just to the north of us. Kennedy Space Center is also coming up. Well, I'm not so sure actually. It's Tootsville Kennedy Space Center. I'm not so sure that's the Kennedy Space Center. Now, if we have a look, our imagery has once again improved. It's all nice, neat and sharp. And there is that South Lake showing just there? Yeah, there's South Lake. We've also got a Skydive Space Center, which is what this is just here, so presumably that's where folk go skydiving. Now, the NASA Shuttle Landing Facility, the Apollo Saturn V Center. We can't come this far without taking a look, so we're going to bank off and see what we can see. Not really sure what's there, whether it's got any decent default scenery. But we'll go and take a look. And in order to find that, we're going to follow the road, which apparently seems to be submerged today. We've got another sports complex down here as well. Just trying to find that on the map, can't actually see it. So what can we expect to see when we find the NASA Shuttle Landing Facility? So here is the strip that we can just see. We've also got the Kennedy Space Center, the Kennedy Space Center Visitors Complex. Someone who's got Google up, just how long is that runway? It's such an iconic, well, sort of runway, isn't it? So you'd have thought for something like a flight simulator, a bit of extra care would be given to the NASA shuttle landing facility. Guess it would be kind of disappointing if not, but I'm not seeing anything amazing there just yet. See a couple of buildings at the end of the runway, which is the well, it's actually the fire station, I think. Jonathan, it's 15,000 feet. What's that in meters? Don't talk feet to me. Oh, 4,600 meters. Thank you, Dark. Actually, that's not as long as I thought. When you consider that the runways at Berlin are 4,000 meters. So, yeah, I would have expected even bigger, to be honest. Does it have an ICAO code? I wonder how wide it is as well. I mean, it actually looks a lot wider and bigger, doesn't it? Not only is it nice and long, but it's also flanked as well by asphalt, tarmac, whatever, at each side. Actually, it does look rather long, doesn't it? Now we're here. Dark, it's 91 meters wide. Really? Thank you. I was going to ask if anyone knew the width of it. 91 meters. I mean, if you were a commercial aircraft, I don't know this, so don't quote me, but if you were a commercial aircraft flying near this particular landing strip and you had a problem and you needed to get down, stopping distance, maybe you'd lost some hydraulics, stopping distance could potentially be an issue. I wonder what the chances are that pilots would think, I know where we can go. Barry, yeah, Doncaster Sheffield is listed as an emergency runway for the shuttle. Indeed it is. Nice long runway there as well. It's only about 10 miles from me there. Yeah, so here it is. This is the NASA Kennedy Space Center Fire Department down there. There's the Apollo Saturn V Center just here. And then there's the JFK Space Center. The Kennedy Space Center, there it is. Kennedy Space Center. I wonder if that's got any decent scenery going for it. Ty says when there's an emergency, a pilot can do whatever they needed. Yeah, but not if there's not any emergency equipment there at the airfield because they're not expecting a shuttle landing. So is this meant to be the launch pad then over here? Yeah, launch pad 39 Alpha. Should we go take a look? Smurfy213, yeah, I mean, if you want to come join us whilst we're basically just flying over the NASA launch pad at the minute, you'd have to probably spawn mid-air, or you could of course spawn at the at Kilo Tango Tango Sierra. How many launch complexes have they got? And we've obviously got Cape Canaveral as well, just to our right, down here. Could do a tour of them all, couldn't we? I mean, that does not look like a rocket ship. That's very. That's a block of flats. Terry, good evening to you. So this is Launch Complex 39 Bravo. Have there been 39 launch since? Well, no. But more than 39 if this is 39 Bravo. You'd presume somewhere there was a 39 Alpha. So I believe this is the most northern one. There's then, yeah, that's Launchpad 39 Alpha. Also with SpaceX Horizontal Assembly Facility. Good old Musk. Yeah, AI photogrammetry has its limitations, doesn't it? Nick123 says there are lots of small concrete pads for test launches, which is technically called launch complexes, so that's why there's so many. That makes sense. Thanks, Nick. Coming a bit further down, this is launch complex number 41. We've also got the astronaut beach house just on the edge there, which is apparently a B&B. Naked HD's back. What is interesting, as I find, they only target this stream, never the more serious streams that we do. Looks like someone set up a small village on that complex just there. And we've got 40 just here. And then, do they start to sort of peter out? Yes. And then we've got the Cape Canaveral Lighthouse. And we've got Seacaf's skid strip, which should be an airstrip almost straight ahead of us. With the ITL warehouse on here, whatever that is. As well as there being all the NASA stuff, the Air Force Space and Missile Museum is allegedly around here too somewhere. Now guys, if we can find Kilo X-Ray Mike Romeo, that seems like a decent place to hold up until we get our next streaming. And there it is, straight ahead of us. So why not end the stream today in NASA territory? Cape Canaveral Air Force Station is just what all these buildings here comprise of. It's a shame the scenery for this area wasn't quite as good. And look at that. That's how big that runway is for the shuttle. You can still see it. Still see it flashing away there. So guys, that will be our end point for episode 15 of this series. Funnily enough, right at the end of the runway, Cape Canaveral Lighthouse should be there. And another launch complex right at the end. So this of course is a military airport. Don't think we're going to get trekked to a McDonald's or any duty free. And straight in front of us, of course, is the Atlantic. 8-9 hours in that direction and you'd hit Europe. So if you guys want to go ahead and get yourself on the ground, I'm just going to take her for a spin, do a couple of overflies, and then we'll bring her down and in. And I'll probably come in over the Atlantic actually, and then we can park up at the what looks like the parking pads right at the end. But you can see lots of test launch sites, can't you? Scattered around this area. I'm presuming that's what we're looking at here. We've got, there's one there, there's one there, there's one there, there's one there. Although it appears someone's built a mud hut on a couple of those. Sad to say the scenery here a little bit lackluster. I was hoping for maybe some sort of Easter eggs. Maybe that, I'm almost certain there must be some sort of modded scenery available for this area of the world. Maybe a shuttle knocking about. Would have been quite neat. Again, given that this is a military airport down here, this probably is quite a lengthy runway, but look at that, you can still see the shuttle landing strip just there. Right, I'm going to make a right-hand traffic pattern now and start to bring her in. Tally says there's a pretty good crosswind and landing from the east. We'll also have a bit of a tailwind. Ah, well. Something to end the stream with. Honestly, the end of every one of these streams looks like something from a war film. As all the aircraft return. Chris Hogg, you missed Lisbon, which was quite interesting as well, because we came in on the opposite runway due to the weather. A little bit windy as well. So it was good. It was good. Hope you caught that one back at some point. A view like this has to make you think how it must have felt the first time you crossed the Atlantic in an aircraft. Knowing if anything went wrong, well, that was it. That was the end. Right, let's pop her down. I'm not too worried about aiming for the touchdown zone. It's a long way to the end of this runway. Wonder how long this runway is as well. Obviously nowhere near as long as... Oh yeah, I've just seen the windsock just there. This is going to be a nice crosswind landing. There we go. Oh, lost it a little bit just in that final phase of touchdown. Tell you what, I seem to have lost a bit of steering capability as well whilst I was on the ground there. Oh, what happened to the sky just then? That was interesting. Do you know, I do wish they would fix that. It's a proper immersion killer. I knew landing at the far end of that runway was going to lead to an insanely long taxi. I could pretty much take off again and just land in a couple of 100 meters. I could almost get airborne at this speed. Here we go. Looks like quite a few flying with us as well this evening, looking at the traffic on the ground just here. And the marshalling crew thinking, oh my god, where did this lot come from? Wonderful. Right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Episode 15 concludes then. We will pick this up not next week, will it be the week after? Do you know, I honestly can't remember. Of course, make sure you keep on our Discord server for information, and of course watch the regular live streams that we have throughout the week. So if you have enjoyed that, please do leave a like on the stream before you leave, and of course to our EasyJets Infinite channel members, thank you once again for your huge support of the channel. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. I hope everyone has had a great weekend. Of course, we will have plenty of live streams coming up this week as we're back in the A320, real ops of course, and looking forward to seeing you on board for those. Hope you've enjoyed tonight. I look forward to seeing you all as we edge ever closer towards Miami on the next episode. Thanks so much, guys. See you all again soon. Bye bye.